Hello and welcome to part 2 of our Dock App training series. Last time we talked about what your warehouse staff will be seeing and doing in the app. Today we're going to transition things over to our operations staff. Our 3 learning points this time are going to be more focused on what happens in Crown Freight Manager when buttons are pressed in Dock Manager, as well as being able to monitor and use the information presented to us. First, we'll talk about your Dock View active view. We'll discuss how you create it and why you do it the way you do. After that, we'll go step by step, viewing data as it returns to CFM from the app. And finally, we'll use what we got back from the dock to create a dock scan report and track the history of the freight all the way from the RCV status until it's marked out for delivery. Let's start with our Dock Manager active view. You may remember from a previous video that an active view is a customizable dispatch screen that includes only the fields you want. You can make company-wide ones, and you can make ones just for yourself. As part of your installation of Dock Manager, a service tech will set you up with an active view designed solely to show you fields that are relevant to the Dock app itself. And just in case you want to customize it yourself or make your own, I'll show you exactly how to make one and how you can use it. Here, you'll see what a typical dispatch screen looks like. The data is somewhat organized as I have it set up to monitor my drivers. However, it has a bunch of columns that I don't really care about for Dock app. It's also missing a few that I really want to know, such as RCVC, OH, and OFD times. So let's change that active view now and give us a better idea of what to expect. Now here's something a little more relevant to us. You'll see that I have it organized by routing. You can always organize everything how you prefer using the group bar by clicking View, Show Group Bar, and then dragging fields to the desired spots, like so. You can also drag columns around or remove them, like so. If you need a column back, don't forget that you can right-click the title of any column and get your column chooser back. This will let you grab any column that's available in your active view and put it right back in the field. This is all really personal preference, but you will have a lot of fields at your disposal, such as tag, house bill, and master bill, routing field, RCVC, on-hand and OFD times, your destination terminal, service date, ETA, pieces and weight, as well as all of your storage information columns. So, customize it as you see fit. But don't forget, if that doesn't work, or you want to make your own version of the dock view, just go to File, Preferences, View Profiles. You can select this is a private view to make it available only for you. Next, we're going to start making CFM and Dock app talk to each other. Let's go over what we need to fill in for a shipment record for it to show up in the app, and then let's see what happens when the dock worker makes a change to those same records. Before the dock workers can pull up shipment records properly, there are a few fields that either need to be filled out or we highly recommend they're filled out. That way, everything is as accurate as humanly possible. They are destination terminal, routing, ETA, piece count, and any combination of driver, truck, trailer, and route information from the bottom. We also recommend making sure that you have your house bill and master bill as well as primary reference number filled out, although they will vary from tag to tag. Remember from the last part, only the main reference number on a tag is searchable via the Dock app. Last time we talked about which options the dock workers have in each mode. Now we want to know how each button press will change data in CFM, so let's start with receive and on hand. I highlighted all the areas the dock workers will use to search using information you provided previously on your tags. From there, dock workers will be able to pull up their records. You'll notice on the working shipment record, they have a handful of available button presses. Each of these correlates to updating something in CFM, so let's take a look at what they do. Once a dock worker updates the piece count, either manually or via the piece count button, it'll send a changelog entry that we'll take a look at once we're done. As you can see, it also marked the shipment RCVC, or received. This is for internal use, as the shipment may not be quite ready to be marked on hand, so don't worry about it sending anything via EDI. On Hand will send EDI messages out to any forwarders you have partnered, so make sure to remind the dock workers only to click that button once everything else is done. There's also location data that they can edit. You should have default storage locations in your system. They can update them here from the app. A tech will work with you getting storage locations established at the time of configuration, but I'll also show you how to create storage locations momentarily. Storage location history can be updated on this tab down here. You can see the current terminal storing the freight, where it's stored, when the storage time started, and when the storage time ended. You can also click the storage history button to view where it's moved in your warehouse. Next, you'll see that there are photo, OSD, notes, DIMS, and reweigh buttons. They each will also update the tag with different information for you. Let's go over and take a look at where photos and OSD photos drop on the tag. As you can see, the attachments icon at the top of your tag is now red. You can view and download your attachments from the Dock app directly here. And finally, you can see that if I click the On Hand button, your on hand time is going to be recorded automatically right here. Next, we'll take a quick glance at OFD mode. It functions similarly to receive and on hand, but if you have a driver, truck, trailer, route, or any combination of the four, you can prompt your dock workers to update your OFD status for you as they load the outbound truck. The freight should already be on hand at the time they do this, but it's important to remember that you can only see on-handed freight in this mode. If a worker can't find it, maybe ask them to check the service date or ensure that the current status is on hand. Once the tag is completed with all the functions of the app, it should look a little something like this. You'll see that all the information from the shipment has been changed by the dock worker. All of your changelog entries are going to be entered. We're going to take a look at them in just a moment. As well, any photos are attached, and all your statuses are completely updated from RCVC all the way to OFD. So we've clicked all the buttons and moved all our tags from A to B to C. But how do we know what all happened in the process? Well, there are some useful ways to track what's happened to a tag from a user or whether it was a dock worker. I'd also like to show you how to set up your storage if you're going to be using it, as well as show you how to generate and read the dock scan report. Storage is a very useful tool that'll help you identify where all of your freight is at all times. You saw how drivers will move it, but how do you set that up? Well, there's a tab in the File menu specifically for creating storage locations by terminal. You'll go to File, Storage Locations, like so. You can create storage locations by hitting the New button. You can name the storage location and choose a terminal assignment. From there, you can also sort which terminals have which default locations. In an instance where they're unloading freight and always stage it in its same location every time, this may be really useful. I'll show you how to do that right now. You go to File, Terminals, and then each terminal has a default storage location in the bottom right corner. You can set it here. You can track movement of storage locations in the Storage History tab on any shipment record. Using the one we worked on earlier, you can see that this piece of freight moved from Warehouse 32 to Warehouse 32 again. It was set multiple times, but if the location moves, for example, to Warehouse Left, you can see that change here, and what time it was done, and who did it. But that's not the only thing you can track from start to finish. The changelog, as you may know, tracks any change made to a shipment record. It will also notate who made the change and in which format, whether it be CFM or Crown Mobile. Now, it'll also note it if the change was made from Dock Manager. You can see here the changes that we made earlier. And as you can see at the top, the Warehouse 32 location was verified by the Dock app. You'll also be able to look up that information in the Storage Verification Report. If you go to the Storage Verification Report, you can search by customer and pull up any current storage information that's in your system. As you can see here, your storage is going to be sorted by customer first and then storage location alphabetically. There is one final tool you can use to help with tracking usage of the app. Like I said before, there's a report that you can run from your dispatch gallery called the Dock Scan Report. This will give you a working record of any scans that are made using Bluetooth scanners that your dock workers should be using for all of your inbound freight. Simply go to Reports Dispatch Gallery and click Dock Scan Report and choose the date range. Some of the scans are marked unassigned. These are barcodes that may not have scanned properly or the shipment's not yet in CFM. You can use the notes section text to determine if this is for a tag that doesn't exist in your system yet, or you can determine that it does exist and that you need a new configuration. If what I just said happens, simply get your dock workers to grab you as clear of a photograph as possible of the barcode and send it over to Crown Support at crownsupport@crowndatasystems.com. From there, we'll get you mapped a new configuration so you can use it in the future. And that's everything you need to know about using the Dock app. You should be able to go out onto the floor and monitor your warehouse operations now. As always, if you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out to Crown Support at the email address on your screen, or give us a call at 716-651-0977. Thank you so much for your time, and have a great day.